Everybody, thanks for stopping by. Just a couple of reasons for today's video. One is to give you a quick update on how the rear table build is coming along, I guess, on the Pajero, and at this stage nothing has happened. Second reason for the video is to say Merry Christmas everybody, and thanks very much for coming along for the ride, and I thank each and every one of you for your time that you spend watching the videos and all that sort of stuff. So Merry bloody Christmas to the lot of you. I hope everything goes well for you. I hope you're all staying safe. Now let's get back into this. So with a number of ideas going through my head in how to do this build, and I've been watching lots of videos, and I was watching one last night that I'm actually going to put a link down in the description. It's this young fella's canopy that he's got. He's done a cracker build on this canopy. This is not going to look that good, I'm telling you that now. But the build that this dude's got in the back of his canopy is absolutely awesome. Now something else I might touch on and give you a look at a little bit later on, I'll probably refer you to another channel, is my mate Steve from Mud Ducks 4-wheel drive touring. He's got a little channel there as well. Now he's actually doing some lithium upgrades to his 200 series Land Cruiser. Once he gets around to getting that completed, I'll let you know. And if anybody is interested, you can go and have a look at that, because I'm very interested to see how this pans out, because I'd like to do something similar, not the same. He's going for an under bonnet setup, but I want to go with lithium for both the Pajero and the Caravan. So when I get around to that, I'll let you know, but I'm going to be watching Steve very closely. So if you're interested in lithium upgrades and stuff like that, I think most of us are, I'll let you know when that comes up on Steve's channel. Also had some comments about saying that it's interesting watching you build the stuff on the Pajero, but we want to see it out in action. Obviously I have got the video where I did about 40 minutes, where I did a 40-minute cut of video of me going off-road and stuff like that. Obviously with COVID I haven't been out a great deal in the last 12 months or so, but when I do, Stephen on his channel, Mud Ducks Touring, he tends to do the trip videos. We'll do a collab video every now and then. We did the solar panels and we did the 270-degree awnings, etc, etc, but we tend to try not to overlap our stuff. We like to be individuals and put out our own gear. So to that end, I haven't done a lot of trip videos, but I have recently acquired a new drone after my last one had disappeared on our last adventure. In theory, I'm going to be able to do a little bit more solo stuff and be able to film it as well. So I'm going to do I guess a test trip very shortly, where I'm heading up just into Mount Sugarloaf outside of Newcastle. I'm going to do a track that I've already done that I showed in one of the previous videos, and I'm just going to try and film it, and I'll put it up and I'll get everybody's impressions, and you can let me know whether it's worth continuing on with that and whether it's entertaining or not. So anyway, getting back to the bloody point. As you know, I'm always on bloody Facebook and Gumtree, and I'm always looking for different things, and I've actually been looking for a camp stove to fit on the back of this build. I've been looking at the Coleman Hyper Flame because I would like to get away from just little propane burners. Whilst I was looking online on Facebook, I discovered this. And what you can see here is a Wanderer, I think they call it Cook and Clean or something like that. It's basically just a little camp table. There's multitudes of variations of these things, but while I've been considering more options as far as materials for the top of this table, when I spotted this, I thought, you know what, that might just work. It was $60 second hand. I think they go for about 130, something like that. It is literally just a folding table, realistically. There's a little tub that goes in one end for a sink. Now this is just a rack that basically goes on the underneath. Some wind panels, which I'm very, very interested in. Drop in there just like that. There's also this doohickey, which is supposedly a little garbage bin. Now that actually gave me an idea, because I very much like to have a garbage set up around camp. That camping country down there at Warners Bay, I snagged one of these. So looks pretty basic, and realistically you could probably make one of these up. But what it is just a little wire bracket. It cost me 30 bucks, which is a little bit steep for what it is. But basically what happens with this is it hooks onto your table, just like that, and gives you somewhere to put a normal size garbage bin. There's 13-gallon garbage bags, but I have been told that that's just your normal garbage bag from Woolies or something like that. So regardless of whether this thing works or not as part of the build, this is going to be part of the build. It's going to hang off the side there, and I'm just always going to have somewhere to put my garbage, so I really like the idea of that. What I'm planning on doing is literally just taking the legs off of this, and I'm literally going to just use this tabletop as my bench. So I'm going to put a hinge on it. This is going to be the drop down. So it's 106 long and 56 wide. So 106 is pretty good, but the 56 is pretty tall. Let me give you a look. Good news is once we take the legs off this is going to be really, really light. Like, it's light enough as it is, but obviously without legs, it's going to be even lighter. Okay, so how this is going to work in theory is I'm going to just use this as my tabletop. You can see that width is going to be pretty good. Fold it up though. Fold it up though, it's probably a little bit taller than I actually want it because I'm going to lose the use of my handle there. But overall, I think that's going to be pretty good. If I do end up just going with a plastic tub, I'll probably glue that in. Maybe just put some Velcro around it or something just to make it a little bit more sturdy so it doesn't fall out. As you can see from this perspective, that's why I want to go with a collapsible. Once we take those legs off, I want this to be as low profile as possible. So if I'm going to collapsible one, it's going to fit in there and shut that in. I actually prefer to have the tub on the inside. So my cooking is done a little bit. Okay, that could work like that. Now if we're going to flip this around, I'm going to need to move this little piece here to the back so the windshield will actually sit up properly. I don't mind doing it like this because this little windshield's also going to work as a splashback on that there as well, so that's kind of good. And obviously it can come off if it needs to, and that way I have access to my bowls, plates, etc, etc. So it's going to sit down there, something like that. That's good, I think I like that. Now the other thing that I need to consider is that the back of this door on the Pajeros is not straight. So I think you can see here, this is actually curved in. So what I'm going to do is go and get myself a piece of aluminium, which will convert this from being a bent piece to a nice straight section. We might put something behind it just to build it out here. I was actually thinking piano hinge, but what I could probably do is get away with having a hinge in this corner and possibly a hinge in this corner, and that will avoid me having to worry about the fact that that's not straight. That mounted, I think my best option is to mount into the frame here, and that's going to be my best choice. We can look at possibly a piano hinge and going right along that length. That would probably work as well, but again we'll need to go back to trying to get this flattened out for that to work. The other thing I'm planning on doing is getting rid of this tub. Old mate unfortunately dropped it this morning and broke the tub, so I'm probably just going to glue that up for the time being. I was looking at replacements, and what I'm looking for is get one of the collapsible ones that's about the same size so I can fit that in. I was having a look for an exact match in a collapsible but couldn't find it yet, so still in the market. The other thing I'm looking to do is maybe grab 1/2 that size. It gives me somewhere to put a little bit of water and do a little bit of cleaning and stuff like that, and then just turn the other half into a chopping board size, but we'll worry about that later on. Anyway, let's go and get these legs drilled out. That's one set of legs. Fanny's going swimmingly, except I'm a bloody idiot. When I've been drilling out these rivets out of the corners, I didn't realise it's only the first one that was holding onto the leg. And what those extra ones do is hold these plastic pieces in the corners, holding it all together, and I've drilled those out, a few of those corners, so I'm going to either need to stick some bolts in, or I might just throw some glue on it. Probably not going to make too much difference. The weight is significantly lighter, obviously, you know, one finger. And that was one of the challenges that I was considering when coming up with material, was wanting it to be sturdy and solid, but not wanting to be too heavy. So spin that around, and realistically this is going to look pretty nice, I think. And it's certainly going to look nicer than anything I could have made up. So that was why I went with this for the 60 bucks. Oh, that being said, when old mate dropped the tub and cracked it, he said, I'll take 20 bucks off, so I'll give it to you for 40. So considering I was going to cannibalise it, I didn't want to go and buy a new one for 130. I think tub on the inside, tub on the outside. If I leave the tub on the inside, I can make up a bit of a hose to come down from the water tank on the roof. a bit easy to get to. Yep, tub on the inside, cooking surface on the outside. I think that's going to be the way to go. So that's going to be about it for today. I really need to get down and go and have a look at Bunnings and have a look at the different hinges and come up with a plan there. As far as these little beauties go, it's called a trash ease. You can see that there, made in the USA. So maybe that's why it cost me 30 bucks. But anyway, so that's pretty handy actually. Provided you're not sticking a heap of shit in it. That would certainly hold a rubbish bag for a few cans, etc, etc. Anyway, we'll come up with a place for that. I'm not sure whether it's going to go on the end of the table or not. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Anyway, pretty bloody nifty that. Like it. Like it a lot. That's it guys, that's the update for the rear table build for the Pajero. I'll duck down to Bunnings, go and grab some hinges and stuff. And we'll actually get stuck into the build and I'll take you along for the journey when we get around to doing that. Now on a serious note, it's Christmas. Now everybody's in lockdown, there's some people who can't get to see their family. Now only just last week I had a friend of a friend took his own life, and and look, that was tough for everybody involved, even me at a distance. So I'd encourage anybody who's having a rough time, especially around Christmas, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family. Worst comes to worst, make a phone call. There's plenty of opportunities out there. There's plenty of opportunities out there for you to reach out to somebody if you need the help. Don't do something stupid this Christmas. I want to see you all back here again in 2021. Thanks guys, have a Merry Christmas. Cheers. I'll see you in 2021.